hi fans of high quality entertainment, it's time to end the series on Genesis with their final album, Calling All Stations. And as some of you know, I never had this in my collection. I never heard the album. And so I've taken my time listening to it. I've heard it 4 times, and that's enough. In my previous video, I had mentioned that the first time I played this, it was painful. And by the end of the CD, I was actually a little angry because, you know, the whole Genesis had such a great career overall, even the Phil Collins years for me. And to end it with an album like this on first listen, it was just painful and sad. And then I mentioned in the previous video that I played it, the second time I played it, I actually enjoyed it, some of it, not all of it, but I certainly had a better listening experience than the first time. And so since then, I've played it a couple more times, and I'll let you know what I think in a minute. Stay tuned. But first of all, Calling All Stations is the 15th and most recent studio album by English rock band Genesis, released on September 1st, 1997. After longtime drummer and lead vocalist Phil Collins left the group in 1996, the remaining members, founding keyboardist Tony Banks and guitarist-bassist Mike Rutherford, decided to continue and write new music for an album. After auditioning process through 1996, they chose Scottish singer Ray Wilson as Genesis' new lead singer. They never even asked me. Calling All Stations was released to mostly negative reviews from music critics who chastised its lack of direction, but praised Wilson's performance. It sold poorly in comparison to their earlier albums. It reached number 2 in the UK and performed well in Europe, but it peaked at number 54 in the US. This marked their first album not to top the UK album charts since 1978. Congo, the first of 3 singles from the album, went to number 29 in the UK. Genesis toured Europe in 1998 for the Calling All Stations tour, but cancelled their planned US tour due to low ticket sales. The group disbanded at the European tour's conclusion. And of course they did reunite later on with Phil Collins. Just one more little bit I thought would be interesting for you that haven't heard this, what they said about it. In a 2019 interview, Tony Banks thought the album contained some very good songs, but has a kind of uniformity about it that I regret. It contains 1 or 2 rather weak tracks too. We also left off 2 of the strongest tracks, which was a mistake. Rutherford said he did not regret the album, but due to its sales being lower than that of previous albums, he had sensed that the mood had changed in terms of radio play. As he thought Genesis was becoming a catalog act, this influenced the band's decision to not continue after the album. And I had posted in my community, I actually don't have, I thought I printed it out, but I posted here what you all thought of this album, and I think more than half of you rated it as poor. So here are my thoughts overall. The production sounds great. I give it an A. Don't mind the production at all. The album cover, I can't say I hate it. I guess I like it. It's okay. It's kind of it's just okay. Kind of a bit on the bland side, maybe. Kind of like the album. My 3 favorite songs. Yes, I have 3 favorite songs. Alien Afternoon, If That's What You Need. I love the chorus in that. Very catchy pop song. And The Dividing Line, which features a awesome drum solo by the I think they used 2 different session drummers on this album. And they did a great job, by the way. And make sure I get his name right. It's Ray Wilson, right? Yeah, Ray Wilson. Ray Wilson, fine vocalist. He sounds a bit more like Peter Gabriel than Phil Collins, which is good. He doesn't have the range, of course, of Peter Gabriel or the personality. But as a singer, I would rate him as a very good singer. He did the best he could with the material he had. Now the music. Oh, I forgot to mention my least favorite song. Oh yeah, and also with one thing about this album is the lyrics. They're pretty mediocre. They're not very good. For instance, in The Dividing Line, in the comfort and safety of your own home, remember those outside in the cold, and the wind and the rain, and take in your hands a little ray of light, and turn it into a beam that pierces the darkness of the night. I could have written that. My least favorite song is Uncertain Weather. So like I said, the last couple times I listened to it, it was okay, and some songs were a bit on the catchy side. The opening song, Calling All Stations, is very good too. Nice guitar work by Mike. But the music is bland overall. There's nothing. My favorite parts about the album are the vocals by Ray, and the drumming overall is very good. And a lot of, I think all of the songs except one, they just fade out. And yeah, there's nothing exciting about the album. The songs overall just kind of lay there. But they're not bad songs either. Even my least favorite it's okay. But it is a sad way to end the Genesis legacy with this album. And that's why I kind of wish they had ended it with We Can't Dance. Even if you're not fans of that album, I think most of you would agree it's better than Calling All Stations. But I know there's fans out there that think Calling All Stations is great. It took them a few listens to get into. And that's what I was hoping on my second listen, is I think I overreacted the second time. I got excited. It's like, oh, it's really not that terrible. But it's really not that interesting or good. It doesn't have too much of a replay value for me. I might play it once a year, maybe. I don't know. So that's it. That's my thoughts on Calling All Stations. I don't think, I definitely would not mark it as poor, as a lot of you did, but I would mark it as between fair and good, I guess. And in my rankings, in my rating, I was going to make it a B minus, and then I really thought it over, especially after the last listen. And there's times, every time I've listened to it, there are certain songs you just kind of drift off. It's like, because the song isn't connecting to you at all, and you just aren't really listening. That's not a good thing. So in my rankings, it goes between, and then there were 3, and From Genesis to Revelation at number 14 with a C+ rating. And that's it. That's the end of my Genesis series. Next up is Queen, and I might be as excited for this series as any. And overall, I love Yes more than I love Yes more than Queen, but their first two albums, Queen and Queen 2, it just listening to them in the past week, it's like, oh, these are actually better than I thought they were, because, they were always hard for me to get into, and finally getting into them. So it's making it exciting, and I have no idea how I'm going to rank them. And so I hope you look forward to that series too. And I'll be doing the review for their debut album probably next. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.